Welcome to another unscripted and unedited session with Taiwo Balogun. So, today we want to look at 7 problems that entrepreneurs mistake for capital problems. You see, a lot of entrepreneurs are mixing things up and then thinking that their problem is capital. No. Today, I want to share seven problems with you, and then please get them. I will not waste your time. Like I said, this is unscripted and unedited. That's why it is live. But after the live session, we're going to bring it down. Or no, we will not bring it down. I think Facebook is going to bring this down after 30 days. But it's going to be on our YouTube channel. And the question that I have before you is very, very simple. It's very, very simple. Now, the question is, what if the money you are looking for is not the solution to the problem, your business or your business problem? What if the money that you are looking for is not the real solution to the problem that your business is facing right now? This is a question that I want you to ask yourself, because most of the times entrepreneurs are not sincere with themselves. They are not sincere, and you don't blame them, because it's a game of survival. A lot of people see entrepreneurship as an unemployment in disguise, and that is why I shared what I shared today. That don't present entrepreneurship as an escape for unemployment. Don't do that. And for those of you that want to go into business, don't come into business with such mindset, because if you go into entrepreneurship with the wrong mindset, you will get it wrong. And that is why I deem it fit to create the Nigeria Wealth Shift series. And by the grace of God, we're going somewhere. So let's see if we can have more people join this live session. And I want to appeal to you. Please invite someone, share this video, and then, let someone also be part of this conversation. It is a conversation, and that's why you see me looking at this screen. When you see me look here, I'm looking at your comments. So I want you to please drop your comment in the course of this unedited and unscripted video with Taiwo Balogun. So I'll read your comment, and also if you have any question, this is live Q&A. I will be glad to attend to your question. Okay, I can see a comment. Okay, Goodness, Richard. Okay, I can see Goodness says, I love this. Thank you, Goodness. Thank you. So let me go fast to these 7 problems. You see, these problems are problems that a lot of people overlook. And it is not something that we should take lightly. When we think that our problem is capital, most of the times, problem that we are faced with are cash problem. There's a difference between capital and cash. Oh, I can see one of my very good friend, Mr. Paul Ojo. Great job, sir. I'm glad to join this live series. Thank you, Mr. Ojo. We are super excited to have you live tonight. And tonight we are looking at 7 problems that entrepreneurs mistake for capital problems. And like I said, I asked a question that, what if the money you're looking for is not the actual problem or solution, the actual solution to the problems that your business is faced with? And that is a very important question that I'm putting before you as an entrepreneur to please think deeply, because I realize that many entrepreneurs used to say, oh, my biggest problem is capital. But when you examine their business closely, very closely, you will realize that the real problem may be pricing. At times, the real problem might be demand. It might be, cash flow. And at times, it could be operations. Meanwhile, it could even be credibility. Most of the times we mix things together. We don't know that there's a difference between entrepreneurship and credibility. There's a difference. Credibility means, are you credit worthy as an entrepreneur? Are you credit worthy? The fact that you are an entrepreneur does not make you credit worthy. And that is why in one of the series I'm planning very shortly, I will be sharing with you 14 to 15 types of capital that you can access. 14 to 15 types of capital. I think I shared about in one of the series I wrote last week. There's some, but there are some I did not share that I want to share with you. Now, let's move fast. The number one problem that I see that a lot of business owners have is validation problem. You know, I've been saying this for some times now. I've been writing about validation, that there's a difference between business idea and business opportunity. And the difference is validation. There's what we call problem validation, solution validation, and also business validation. So most businesses or most entrepreneurs don't do problem validation. They don't do problem validation, and they want to go into business and think that, oh, I have an idea. I have this idea and I think I just need capital. No, you don't just need capital. You need validation. Having an idea does not prove that there's a market for it. No. Having an idea does not prove that there's a market for that idea. You must validate the problem. Please, I need to emphasize this seriously. And I believe we have some entrepreneurs live at the moment that can confirm that. Yes, you can. Goodness say, I can't wait to go through the 14 to 15 types of capital. Thank you. I cannot also wait to share them with you. And you see, one of the problems that I see with entrepreneurs is they mix up cash with capital. They mix it up. So don't let me digress. Let me be focused, because I don't want us to waste time. So the number one problem that out of the 7 problems that a lot of entrepreneurs mix up with capital, problem is validation problem. Please, before you launch that product, before you start that business, identify the problem that you want to solve, then validate the problem. Please make sure you validate the problem, because you see, interest is different from willingness to pay. When people shows interest, it is different from willingness to pay. You see, I'm into education business, or the business of how will I put it? Training, coaching, consulting, mentorship. And I know how people think, psychologically. I know how people react to things. There are times you put out some things there, you see people will be they will click it, they will like it, they will drop a lot of emojis, but that is not a confirmation for them to pay for what you share. Most of the times we mix it up. Please don't mix it. Don't mix it up. Don't mix up accolades with willingness to pay. You understand? And most of the times, when you launch a product and you see that its sales is low, don't take don't take it for the fact that, oh, I think I need marketing money, or I need capital for marketing. It might not be marketing that you need. You need to go back and validate the problem. Ask yourself, if truly enough real customers are actually buying your product, or are ready to pay for what you're selling or your product, because more capital cannot manufacture sustainable demand. The fact that you are seeking for, oh, I need capital, that does not validate or validate, sustainable demand. No. Because when you seek for more capitals, it can crash your business. So let's move to number 2. The number 2 problem is pricing problem. Write that in the comment section. Let me see if you're following, if you're a good student. Let me see. I'm reading your comment here. Let me see if I can see your comment. Okay, let me see. Right, type that in the comment section, and the number 1 problem that I mentioned, type it in the comment section. Also, the number 2 that I just mentioned, which is pricing problem, drop it in the comment section, and I'm going to share some thoughts with you. Now, looking at the number 2 problem that entrepreneurs face, that is pricing problem. It is something that we need to look at critically. Because one thing about pricing is that sales cannot increase while your cash remains tight. You can't increase sales while your cash remains tight. Because most of the times you may be underpricing your product or services. You may be underpricing it. Yes. Because if you don't validate the problem you want to solve and be able to know how much does this solution worth, you will underprice your product or services. You would definitely do that. And this is why, when people say I want to go into business or I'm an entrepreneur, I look at it that, hey, this is not a child's play. It is not what? It is not a child's play. You need to know that entrepreneurship is real work. So make sure you understand the pricing of the product, service that you're rendering. And test, validate it. Because if you don't validate it, you might underprice it. And you see, some customers might be interested in what you're selling, but when they see the pricing, they will say, oh, I think this is not, I'm not sure of the value that this guy is bringing to the table. And that's why you see it might be difficult to sell to the rich when you underprice product or service. So I don't want to waste much time on that. Let's quickly move on to the number 3 problem that a lot of entrepreneurs mistaken for capital problem. The number 3 is cash flow problem. Thank you, goodness. Thank you. Pricing problem. I just mentioned that. The number 3 is cash flow. Cash flow problem. Profit and cash are not the same thing. Drop that in the comment section. Profit and cash are not the same thing. No, there might be cash flow in your business, but that does not mean it is profitable, or that does not mean there is profitability, because most of the times there can be cash flow and you are losing. That is why you must have record keeping, have good books. I heard Dr. Cosmas Maduka said something that you must have at least 2 books in your business. The first book is record your expenses, and the other one, your income. Then that way, those 2 books will help you to know if your business is profitable, if you are making profit, because profit is different from cash. And that is why the number 3 problem that entrepreneurs mistaken for capital problem is cash flow problem. Because you see, there are times you might think that, customers, I'm selling this product, but customers might be paying you lately or slowly. Customers might pay you, even a supplier may require payment too quickly, and your customers are paying you slowly. You are selling product. Instead of waiting 30 days to get your capital or your money, your suppliers are waiting. They want to get their money instantly, and you sold and say, okay, don't worry, I'll pay you back in 30 days when I get my salary. That is not a good cash flow system. That shows that there is a cash flow problem, because when your suppliers require more payment too quickly and your customers are paying slowly, then there will be problem. There will be problem. There will be what? Problem, because too much money is trapped somewhere. And that is why you need to sit down and ask yourself, where is my money trapped? Where is my cash trapped that I need to lay hold on? That is what keeps business flowing. And the business the problem may not be the timing. Thank you, Mr. Ojo, Mr. Paul Ojo. Thank you. And the problem may not be, maybe timing. It may be the timing and not total profitability. Because if the timing is too wide for you to get the payment for what you sold and the payment for what um, your inventory, then you're not making profit. To understand that. Number 3 is cash flow problem. Cash flow problem. And I can give you an example, but I don't want to bore you with too long story. Thank you. Cash flow are two different things we should understand. Thank you. Goodness. Thank you. I love that energy, this energy of the fact that you are moderating this with me. You see, when I see people moderating my live stream, I'm always happy. I always want to share more. I always want to share more. Thank you so much, Mr. Ojo, and goodness, Kelechi. And also, please help me to share this with someone. Someone might be able to. I want to, learn. Now, number 4 problem is business model problem. When we talk about business, a lot of business owners or entrepreneurs don't understand the best model for the problems that they want to solve. And this is becoming an issue. And lately, I'm beginning to share. Last year, I published a book that I called titled Kingdom Entrepreneurship. I'm going to do an exclusive video on that book. So I don't want to, that's why I'm not showing you the book. It is printed. I have the printed copy. I don't want to bring it. Now, and one of the things that I have been advocating for after I launched that book is business model that so many people are not looking into. Especially Christians, have this mind of problem, mental health problem, this problem, and you are running it like an NGO. You're not thinking of how to monetize this thing. Yes, you are solving problem, but the fact that you are solving problem, you need money. You see, I'm calling it money deliberately. I'm using that word deliberately because most of the times entrepreneurs used to use money, capital interchangeably, but most of the time it is not capital that you need. You need money, cash. You understand? You need cash. And for you to understand the kind of cash that you need to know the business model that you must embrace based on the problem that you want to solve. Most of the time, some people want to solve social problem. You understand? There's no light, no electricity. I want to provide electricity for that community, hunger problem. I want to provide food for this category of people. I want to help farmer to do this, to do that. I want to help this category of most of those problems are social problem. And if you're solving social problem, the best business model to embrace is social enterprise business model. Please go and make your research. I will not dwell much on this. But please quote me anywhere that Taiwo Balogun said something about social enterprise business model, which a lot of entrepreneurs in Nigeria are not taking advantage of. And I have a case study that I studied their blueprint closely. And that is Lagos Business School. Go and study their blueprints, and you understand that Lagos Business School is running a social enterprise business model. And they are, okay, if you permit me, let me define what a social enterprise business model means. It is a business model where you identify a social problem that you want to solve. You solve that problem, but you can also charge for that problem. So ultimately, in other words, you are not running a non-profit organization. Yeah, you are solving a problem, but you can charge for that problem or for that solution, and you can also apply for grants under the problem, the category of the problem you want to solve. Let's take, for example, you are solving one of the SDGs, that's Sustainable Development Goals of, let's say, poverty eradication or education. Now, if it is poverty eradication, or let's pick education. Don't say because I'm providing education for this category of people because they don't have access to education, and you are doing it totally at the detriment of the business. No, don't do that. Don't do that. You see, business succeeds when there is profitability. And you cannot impact more lives if there is no cash flow. Did you get? I'm now trying to link the problems together now. for you to see that if you fail here, it will affect here. And if it affects here, you won't be able to move on to accomplish the vision that you have for your business. And the impact, it will affect the impact seriously. Am I communicating? Please let me know if I'm communicating in the comment section. Let me quickly read your comments. Thank you, Mr. Ojo. Yes, business model problem. Yes, thank you so much. A clear understanding of the business model to employ will determine whether a business should be treated as an NGO and non-profit. God bless you, Mr. Ojo. Absolutely. So if you are running a business that has to deal with a social problem, please embrace social enterprise business model. And that's an assignment for you. Go and make research about that model. Then maybe later we can talk about it. You understand? Once you understand the model that you want to run, you will see that you will solve this problem. You will be able to solve the business model problem. You will be able to solve it because it will not become an issue. It will be something that, you have already, know the model that you are running. You understand? And you know how to structure who pays or what. You will be able to answer, how does this business make money? Some social enterprise business models they do training, they run training, they have products, they sell their product, but they have, reasonable margin that they add to the product. Some, they source for social intervention fund from multinationals, from banks, from the government to run their business. As long as they are reinvesting the profit or whatever they are getting, they are using it judiciously, and they can track the impact. There's what we call impact assessment. You can document your impact and say, okay, we did this training for 200 people. At the sign up stage, maybe you have 3 stages. At the ideation stage of this program, we have 200 people enrolled. By the end of the first stage, and going to the second stage, 80 people dropped out. We have 120. That means you are tracking both the retention rate and also the impact rate. Now, by the time they move to the second stage, 120 move to the second stage. Maybe that stage is I don't know. You can name it anything. Now, at that stage, you have 120. At the end of that stage, 100 people were able to complete that stage and move to the final stage, which is the maybe growth stage or acceleration stage. That stage, you can now say, okay, this is the stage that if you pass this stage, you are going to graduate from this program. And 200 signed up, 100 made it to the final stage. So by so doing, you can say, this program is a success. 100 out of 200 made it to the final stage. Wow, that is huge success. And you can track that, that growth, that progression, and say, give it to those that you got money from, and say, okay, this is what they will be happy because you've already made an impact. Did you get that? And it does not stop there. There's also going to be follow-up. After the program, what happens? How far are they doing? Those that that pass through the program, are they progressing? How is their business? How is their program? How is their life? Depending on the objective of the program. Am I communicating? Thank you. Yes, I am communicating. Thank you, goodness. God bless you. Appreciate you. Now, let's quickly move to the next one. How many have I shared now? How many problems have I shared? I've shared, I think, number 4. I think I've shared 4 now. Yes, 4. I've shared 4. Business model problem. Please go and do your research about that. And then let's quickly look at the number 5 and number 6. Number 5 is market access. Market access problem. What did I call it? I say market access problem. Now, when we talk about market access, the first thing that you must ask is, good product does not guarantee distribution. No. Good product does not guarantee distribution. There are a lot of good products that are sitting in the warehouse. There are a lot of good products that are sitting in where? In the warehouse. Because it does not guarantee distribution. And you are the one that will, that will map out your distribution channel. So market access problem is one of the problems that a lot of people don't think about. For example, last year when I published my book, I didn't do book launch. I didn't do book launch. What I did was book presentation, and I didn't do any special program to that or event. So what I did was pre-order. I sensitized my audience before the presentation of the book and told them this is the price, but if you are pre-ordering, this is the price that you will get it, plus logistic, cost. So already, before I determined the price of the logistic, I went to Jumia, I went to Konga, I sampled them, sampled their prices, look at, okay, within this jurisdiction, this is the price. Then after that, I got a private logistic company and we strike a deal. And I said, okay, within so radius, this is the price we'll pay. If it's going outside Lagos, this is the price. And I do, my calculation, I made an announcement and people paid. People paid to pick it up by themselves. Some people pay and pick it up by themselves, send someone. But the larger percentage of those that bought my book, you know what they did? They paid for the logistic, delivered to them. So market access problem has to be solved from the day one. Don't say, oh, I'm selling this Gary. I package this Gary, and I think I will sell it through WhatsApp. I will sell it through my friends. I will sell it through this. I will sell it through that. And you have not identified the distribution channel. How is it going to get to them? If it is digital product, then how is it going to get to them? Are you selling through seller.co or how? Are you selling through Amazon? Are you selling through e-commerce platform or how? Determine that from the beginning so that you know that you are solving that market access problem. That's number 5. Number 6 is operational problem. Operational problem. I want you to remember something tonight, please. You need to look for something when you are talking about operation. When you are thinking about your operation, how will you operate this business? How will I take care of poor inventory control? How will I look at quality? How will I control quality? I think I want to remember one of the courses that we did in a mini MBA with Tekidia Institute. I think it is TMQ. Yeah, TMQ. Quality. No, sorry, QT. Is it QT? Quality Total Control. Yeah, I can't remember this thing, but I know it's about quality control. Now, you determine the quality control, the consistency of the quality. Is it going to be in batches? When you produce something in batches, do you have batch number and code to know? Even, I'm into production of, okay, this is 29 minutes. I don't want to waste time. By maximum of 35 minutes, we should wrap up this session. I used to produce herbs and spices. We grow herbs and spices. We plant them. And most of the times when we harvest, there are times that some harvest will, the way it will, because most of the time we dehydrate them, most of the time we use hair drying, natural hair drying. And most of the times, you see, most of the batches are different from each other. I don't know why. I think most of the time it is the weather. There are times that the weather will be so cool and it will take time for it to naturally dry. There are times that the weather will be so hot that it will be faster for it to dry. And same thing happens to the moisture and the quality of that herbs or that spice. because you feel the taste, and even the smell will be different. It will, there are some herbs that it will smell fresh, as if it will retain the nutrient, the quality. So now, if you now do another one and the processing is different, we did not add control number, batch number, we will not be able to know or differentiate that, when we produce this is what happened, this is what happened. And that is why now they are talking about traceability, which is where blockchain comes in anything you are doing, even in agriculture, even in egg. Now, let me tell you one of the problems I will have in egg production in Nigeria, which is also a business opportunity for someone out there. You know why? You know what? It is traceability. A lot of people are eating, expired eggs in Nigeria. And how do I mean? People don't have that information of when this egg was produced, how long it has stayed on the shelf. Is it still good for consumption? We don't have that. We don't have that. So anybody that is coming into that business, you must be able to look at the operational business. Problem. You must be able to ask yourself and say, what is the problem here? How am I going to solve the operational problem of this business? So you need to look at that. What about the waste? How are we going to control waste? What about the weak processes of getting things done? Nigerian system, you have to bribe this before you get this done. Even your worker, you have to let him feel that, he's doing you a favor for you to get things done. Even at times. How do you handle delayed delivery that you paid for and somebody did not deliver on time? And that becomes your problem. And when you call, they talk to you anyhow. How do you do that? All these are part of operational problems that we're having. How do you do that? So these are the things that you need to put in place. And before you think, I need capital, I need startup capital, I need the operational capital, I need working capital, I need the facility capital. I've shared all those capital last week. Please, you can go and read them. So that's the number 6, I think. So the last but not the least is credibility problem. Credibility. I told you earlier, I said a lot of people mix up entrepreneurship with credibility. The number 7 problem is credibility problem. A lot of entrepreneurs are not credible. They are not what? They are not credible. And that is a big problem. People underestimate credibility, especially in this part of the world. And that is why it is difficult to approach banks. That is why it is difficult to get investors. That is why it is difficult to get suppliers, funding or capital. Let me call it capital. Suppliers capital, because your suppliers can supply if they trust you. If you are credible, they can supply you and say, okay, don't worry, we give you 30 days to repay. You understand? And another thing is this, it will be difficult for you to get partners if you are not credible. If you are not credible. Before I came up here to this life, I had a meeting, an international meeting with an international organization. And the founder was telling me that there was a time that he had a deal with someone based on friendship, and the guy made 1 billion naira in that deal, and he didn't fulfill his own part of the agreement. Before the deal, the guy was promising heaven and earth. After the guy got the deal and got the money, the person that linked him up, that connected him to that deal, he decided to. And I look at that, and you call yourself an entrepreneur, and you think that 1 billion naira you finish it one day. Before you go into business, please ask yourself, am I credible? That's why you need to build your personal brand. I will talk about personal branding in another video or another course, because very soon we are working on my framework that will be launched very soon. It's going to be premium program You will get value for your money. If you don't get value for your money, then I guarantee get it back. Not promoting that now, only telling you some one of the capital that I want to share next week is is credibility. Credibility is also a capital. Credibility is also what? Is a capital. Drop that in the comment section and we'll close very shortly. Sometimes, capital exists. It exists. But the business has not created enough evidence for anyone to trust you with their capital. Your business, the business you are doing, it has not created enough evidence to say that this guy is credible. I can part with my money. I can give him my money and go to bed and go to sleep. You get that? Because a lot of the times entrepreneurs will say, nobody wants to fund my business. Nobody wants to fund because they don't like me, because they are enemy of progress. Oh, sorry. Are you credible? Are you credible? One of the series I am also planning to do, trust economy. Are you trustworthy? And people trust you with their money and go to bed? And how are you going to be credible? Number one, you have to keep financial records. Your financials must be clear enough. You understand? Your business must be formally structured. I've been saying this for some weeks now, that you have to learn to structure your business. You can see that there are a lot of intervention funds, programs out there now, especially by this dispensation government, present government. This one, you see, they are giving. Go to LinkedIn, go and see a lot of programs there. If you go to federal government programs, you see a lot of funding program. Smidan is doing their own, this is doing a lot of them. But is your business formally structured for that? Even Tony Elimolu Foundation grant, a lot of people have been applying for it. Is your business structured for that? Are you ready for that? Can you demonstrate that, my business is formally structured for this grant or for this loan? You understand? Can you demonstrate sales? These are the things that will make you credible. Can you explain how the money will be used? Okay, I wrote a post last week. Was it last week? I said, if you wake up tomorrow morning and you saw 150 million naira in your bank account, what will you do with the money? And I read comment to an extent I couldn't. If I wanted to do a video to that effect, but I couldn't. Because when I saw some people's comment, I was like, oh, seriously? Somebody said, I don't want to mention. Somebody said something. I was like, oh, the guy said he's going to use 20 million. He will first of all print his business card. He will now earmark 20 million to be traveling from one state to another in Nigeria to share his business card. Can you imagine? I was like, oh, seriously? He now said after that, he's going to earmark another millions to travel to Japan or Singapore or Dubai. That is when he will now start and go and bring. Somebody said he's going to separate 100 million to invest in the stock market. And I'll look at, oh, seriously? Did the investor said they don't know how to invest in the stock market, that they gave you the money? So, so there are a lot of works to be done in Nigeria entrepreneurial space. And that is why I have my reservation about, government empowerment program, entrepreneurship empowerment program, youth empowerment, women empowerment program, this loan, that loan, that they are not traceable. Just after numbers, okay, 20,000, we train 20,000 youth, we train 5,000 women. And after that, what happens? What happens? You just show them, you showcase, you take pictures, you share, you give them certificates, and after that, nothing is happening. There's no impact. There is no sustainable impact. After that, how many businesses can survive 5 years? These are the things that we should be asking even our government. How many of those businesses can employ at least 5 people? I pray God will help us. I pray God will help us. Thank you. So on this note, I think I've come to the end of those 7 problems that I want to call your attention to. And The reason is not for us to castigate anybody. The reason is for you to, for a genuine to understand a genuine capital problem, because a genuine capital problem becomes clearer only after the underlying business problem has been properly diagnosed. When you don't diagnose all these 7 things that I told you, hey, there will be problem. There will be what? There will be problem. You need to understand them, diagnose them, and then you can now say, oh, I need funding. And before you say I need funding, let me do a short recap. Number 1 problem is that validation problem. You must ask yourself, have I validated this thing, this business? Is it still at the ideation stage or the opportunity stage? Do customers actually want this thing? Number 2 problem, pricing. Will every sale make economic sense? Ask yourself. Answer that question. Solve the pricing problem before you go to the market. And number 3 is cash flow. Is money entering and leaving at the right time? You answer that question. Then number 4, business model. Which business model do you want to embrace or employ? Which one? Can this business sustainably make money? Is it for profit, NGO, or what? Number 5 that I think is, what's number 5? Okay, market access. Market access. Can you reliably reach enough customers? How do you want to reach them? And number 6, operational problem. How can you deliver efficiently? Can you control quality? Can you meet demand? And the last one, number 7, thank you, goodness, credibility. Others trust your numbers and execution, and they part with their money. They give you their money and go to bed. So these are the things. And if there's any question, I'd like to answer your question. And also, please, there is a subscriber link on this video that is pinned on the comment section that you can subscribe to exclusive content on Facebook. Yes, you can subscribe to that. Please, let me say this. Let me say this before I go. Whatever you are building, whatever it is that you are building, make sure that you are building something fundable. Make sure whatever you are building is fundable. It can be funded. Please. And that is what I will leave you with tonight. Whatever it is that you are building, make sure it is fundable. And I pray that God will help you. I see you next time. I am Taiwo Balogun.